Mrs. Claus says I cannot dance.
Anybody else? She says, stand up, dance with Mrs. Obama. Stand up and dance with Mrs. Obama and Santa right now. Drop it down. That was incredible.
I'll get that little piece of dandruff.
Welcome, my friends, to Conspiracy or Conspiracy. Tonight, we are doing Conspiracy or Conspiracy. We're supposed to be starting our new series, A Conversation With. Unfortunately, our guest couldn't make it tonight, so I did have a live stream scheduled, and I wasn't going to leave you guys waiting. So, Conspiracy or Conspiracy is a show near and dear to my heart. It's where we talk about the Illuminati, UFOs, UAPs, the unseen, and things that go bump in the night, or things that go bump bump elsewhere. There's some bumping going on. Ugh. And so welcome, my friends. We have a fantastic show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about deep state machinations, and we're going to be talking about just some really unusual developments that have been happening, and what do they mean? And so we're going to cover Ashley Biden's diary, which, man, these are some sick, depraved people. And then we're also going to kind of cover Huma Abedin's revelations that were out about a week ago that a sitting United States senator allegedly did something to her. I wonder who that senator was. I wonder about the timing of all this. We're going to talk about it. But today, yes, somebody sent me a new clip of Michelle Obama that, God damn it, why do you have to do this to me, people? Gosh, you repeatedly show this, and
You know anything about this?
Get it away from me.
that's kind of how I feel. But yeah, you get shown something like that, and then somebody sent that to me, and then I looked for the. If you notice in the beginning clip, you could see that they put a very large footer on the video, right? It was like this high, when usually the footer is way down here. Usually the footer is way down here, right? But the footer was like way up here, and they were clearly trying to conceal something. So then I looked and I found I found the raw footage, and oh my God. So they added the music too, and I can't unsee it. And there's even more footage. You're gonna suffer with me, folks. You're gonna suffer with me. That's all there is to it. Hail, small time. Welcome, my friend. Hail, Big Mike, bringing Christmas joy to all the kids. I will say this: she seems unusually excited to be around those children. Unless, yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So yeah, the unedited footage here, you can see something
All right,
they couldn't see in the other footage.
Christmas, when
Hail
all through the
Shellback.
house, not a creature was stirring.
Goodness, you'll see it in a moment.
Zoe, what are you?
Okay, I think.
You wondering?
Look, she's making an adjustment.
Was there really a movie theater in the White House?
Oh God, why do you do this to me, people?
It is one of my favorite books, and I love to
Do you
read.
think another adjustment's Oh man. Swinging!
Mrs. Claus says I cannot dance.
Look! You can see it, it's right there! Oh God. Oh my goodness. Holy shit.
Anybody else? She says,
My goodness.
stand up,
Look
dance
at that!
with Mrs. Obama.
Oh, someone should
Stand up
tell
and
her not to
with Mrs.
dance.
Obama and
Look, you
Santa
can see that
right
thing
now.
swinging right now!
Drop it down.
Good Lord.
That was incredible.
That's
Such
one
a
word
special
for it.
treat.
Santa doing orange justice. It's gonna be a great Christmas.
Yeah, drag queen story time. Yeah, no kidding. Whew. So yes, Ashley Biden's diary been making the rounds, and we'll see what we have here. But people have been tweeted out, and this broke last year. So this was a story that broke last year, and I, like many people, said, well, you can't really verify the authenticity of this diary. How do we know it's real? The things that were in it were quite explosive. And, well, let's just listen to James O'Keefe here, because James O'Keefe goes through the same thought process that I was going through, which is, how do you know it's real? And James O'Keefe basically said that, we were given the diary. We didn't know if it was real. We tried to give it back. We didn't report on it because we couldn't verify the authenticity. And so there's a lot of strange things happening here. And James O'Keefe fills us in on a raid and an investigation. So take it away, James O'Keefe, I guess. But first, Hail Glinzer, welcome, my friend. Her Christmas stocking is stuffed all right. Yeah. Holy shit. Ugh. I think I'm jealous. I don't know. Tiki of Doom says, Hail! Glinzer says, Biden's real diary starts with, my thoughts, and then it's blank. Yeah, bribing. I don't know. Do you think Obama is the catcher or the pitch? Do you think that, do you think they take turns? Anyway, maybe I'm spending too much time thinking about that. So, yeah, here's James O'Keefe telling us exactly what's happening. So, oh, that's interesting. That's a new feature. Yeah, that seems good. That's what I want.
By making this statement, I am putting myself at great risk because on November 4th, Project Veritas came under attack. I awoke to the news that apartments and homes of Project Veritas journalists, or former journalists, had been raided by FBI agents. It appears the Southern District of New York now has journalists in their sights for the supposed crime of doing their jobs lawfully and honestly, or at least this
looks like I was piping through the wrong mic.
I had to think long and hard before making this statement. It's a decision that only I can make. They don't want me to defend myself and immediately try to silence me. That's why the cover letter to the grand jury subpoena we received contains this language. Quote, the government hereby requests that you voluntarily refrain from disclosing the existence of the subpoena to any third party. While you are under no obligation to comply with our request, we are requesting you not to make any disclosure in order to preserve the confidentiality of the investigation, and because the disclosure of the existence of this investigation might interfere with and impede the investigation, unquote. But while the Department of Justice requested us to not disclose the existence of the subpoena, something very unusual happened. Within an hour of one of our reporters' homes being secretly raided by the FBI, the New York Times, who we are currently suing for defamation, contacted the Project Veritas reporter to ask for comment. We do not know how the New York Times was aware of the execution of a search warrant at our reporter's home or the subject matter of the search warrant, as a grand jury investigation is secret. The FBI...
This is all very interesting to me, you know? I have a lot of questions, and we'll get to them when we get done with James O'Keefe's statement here. But I'll throw one out there right now, and, well, you know what? I'll save it for the end.
The FBI took materials of current former Project Veritas journalists, despite the fact that our legal team previously contacted the Department of Justice and voluntarily conveyed unassailable facts that demonstrate Project Veritas's lack of involvement in criminal activity and or criminal intent. Like any reporter, we regularly deal with the receipt of source information and take steps to verify its authenticity, legality, and newsworthiness. Our efforts were the stuff of responsible, ethical journalism, and we are in no doubt that Project Veritas acted properly at each and every step. However, it appears journalism itself may now be on trial. Late last year, we were approached by tipsters claiming they had a copy of Ashley Biden's diary. We had never met or heard of the tipsters. The tipsters indicated the diary had been abandoned in a room in which Ms. Biden stayed at the time, and in which the tipsters stayed in temporarily after Ms. Biden departed the room. The tipsters indicated that the diary included explosive allegations against then-candidate Joe Biden. The tipsters indicated that they were negotiating with a different media outlet for the payment of monies for the diary. The tipsters were represented by attorneys who handled the negotiations with Project Veritas. We investigated the claims provided to us, as journalists do. We took steps to corroborate the authenticity of the diary. At the end of the day, we made the ethical decision that because, in part, we could not determine if the diary was real, if the diary in fact belonged to Ashley Biden, or if the contents of the diary occurred, we could not publish the diary and any part thereof. We attempted to return the diary to an attorney representing Ms. Biden, but that attorney refused to authenticate it. Project Veritas gave the diary to law enforcement to ensure it could be returned to its rightful owner. We never published it. Now, Ms. Biden's father's Department of Justice, specifically the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York,
That's where
appears to
Trump
be investigating
is
the
being
situation,
persecuted from,
claiming the diary was stolen. We don't know if it was, but it begs the question. In what world is the alleged theft of a diary investigated by the president's FBI and his Department of Justice? A diary. This federal investigation smacks of politics. Project Veritas never threatened or engaged in any illegal conduct. Should the Southern District of New York try to take away our First Amendment rights and uncover and publish newsworthy stories without government intimidation, be assured Project Veritas will not back down. Nothing stops at Project Veritas. Let me be clear. Our mission is to serve the public's right to know by illuminating, revealing, exposing information others wish to hide for the wrong reasons. To quote Lord Acton, we believe everything kept in secret degenerates. We don't mislead or conceal. We investigate facts and potential newsworthy information. Sometimes, as was the case here, after we investigate, we decide not to publish a news story. But Project Veritas will run from nothing, and we will hide from nothing. We exist for the very purpose of discovering and revealing the truth, and hope to make the world a more transparent place. Now, this is not the first time we have been attacked, and it will not be the last. We know why. We've investigated powerful people, and in many ways, we are the very tip of the spear. But we never break the law. In fact, one of our ethical rules is to act as if there are 12 jurors on our shoulders all the time. And that truth, and the truth, will vindicate us. When the FBI in the Southern District of New York seize reporters' notebooks, it is not just an attack on Project Veritas. It is an attack on every American and our sacred right to free speech and a free press. The First Amendment is first for a reason. It guarantees all the other rights that follow, because it's all about accountability. Without accountability, freedom itself is an illusion. So the great question is this an indicator in the direction that America is going? We've gone far beyond the point of partisan politics in this country. They ask us to focus on our divisions.
I've got
They
a
don't
lot of
ask us to
questions.
focus on the things which unite us.
Questions.
What unites us is so much more powerful than what divides us. The First Amendment doesn't just matter to people on one side.
We'll be
It
going
matters
over
to
some of it,
people
Islington
on
Girl.
all sides. That is why I'm calling on all Americans, and especially all journalists, to stand with us for the right to free speech and the free press, and to send a message that the politics of fear will not prevail in the United States of America.
Okay, folks, so you've heard his statement. I have questions. I have a lot of questions about this, and so first and foremost, the first question that comes to my mind is this a way for... So I have two questions, really. Number one, is this a way for the deep state to try and provide a chilling effect on journalism, truth journalism? So that's one question. Another question is, or is it white hats in the FBI that are really upset at Biden, and they are doing this raid to authenticate the diary? So are these white hats in the FBI that are saying, we're really unhappy with Biden, and we want to because remember, he tried to authenticate the diary and they couldn't authenticate the diary. They tried to return the diary. There was a refusal of the other attorney, who they believed the diary may belong to accept the diary. They gave the diary to law enforcement. And now, with this FBI raid, the diary has been authenticated. This is Ashley Biden's diary. So, is it deep state games? Is this possibly the Clintons with the revelations coming from the revelations regarding the Durham report about the Steele dossier? They're starting to that there are people that are starting to be arrested for that. Is this the Clinton camp playing deep state games, saying, "Hey, man, Biden's not running interference enough for us, so we need to get rid of Biden and drop the deuce in there, and get somebody that's going to protect us a little bit better. Biden can't do the job." So those are my questions. What kind of questions do you guys have about it? And let me say hello to the chat while we think about it. Hail Tiki of Doom. Hail Terry Rose. Hail Ruben Christopher Haynes. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. It is very disturbing indeed. Yes. And Small Time says, imagine the outcry if the FBI under Trump had raided the New York Times or Washington Post journalists. Yep. Well, it may not be what it appears to be. It may be deep state games. It may be a desperation of the deep state, or it could be to create the chilling effect on truth media. Yeah, Small Time says, Dear Diary, my dad is a creeper. Yeah, there's some creepy shit in there for sure. Hail TZ Canadian. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Hail Mikhail Wolf. Ruben Christopher Haynes says, yes, they want no one to look into and speak against the deep state. So you think this is desperation at this point? Shut up. You can't talk about Ashley Biden's diary. And so what is in Ashley Biden's diary? Well, let's take a look. Let's see. So here's an excerpt from Ashley Biden's diary. Let's see. It starts off with another page, but showing the boys my underpants is what starts on this part. Hypersexualized at a young age. What is this due to? Was I, and that word starts with an M, ends with a D. I think so. I can't remember specifics, but I remember trauma. I remember not liking the Woolzacks house. I remember somewhat being sexualized with Caroline. I remember having sex with friends at a young age. Showers with my dad, probably not appropriate. Yeah, unless you're like maybe, 0 to 3 years old. Being turned on when I wasn't supposed to be. I remember the Q-tips. I hated getting my ears cleaned. Beating my vagina due to overhearing parents having sex. Ew. What made me so attached? My mother not emotionally available. My father was... Message, I could get love from men. Quote, I'm not your mother. Blanket being taken away. Not letting myself go to the bathroom. Being wiped until too late in the game. I could list all the reasons, but I can't seem to find. So there's a lot of this kind of stuff in there. TZ Canadian says, I think it's real. I think it is real. So it was found somewhere where she was staying temporarily. Apparently she left it. And, here's Steven Crowder. Yeah. Opining opining on it. Yes, I read Ashley Biden's diary. Boy, incest really seems to run in the family. Oh, God, that's gross. Yeah, there's a lot of that weird stuff in that diary. And so when this stuff was coming out before the election last year, and nobody could really authenticate it, and there's supposed to be a voice recording of her authenticating it, basically a cry for help. And so we think that Ashley might be asking for help here. Interesting. So, yeah, there's a lot coming out on this. Yeah, yeah. Trudeau has touchy hands too. Yeah. Ruben says, it is real. Yes. It seems to be authenticated. I mean, the fact that they raided looking for the stolen diary kind of tells you that it's real. But the question is, this information was out a year ago. Why are they getting to it now? Is this the deep state saying it's time to drop the deuce and get Biden out of there and get the hoe in? Is that what's going on? Or are they trying to make this be a chilling effect on Truth Media? Small Time says, I'd be afraid to be her shrink. You'd automatically be under surveillance. Well, we're technically all under surveillance, but yeah, like black SUVs following you around and shit. Yeah. Hail RR, welcome, my friend. Interesting, says RR. Yep. That's one word for it. She's probably traumatized. Well, I think you'd have to be. I mean, the whole family's fucked up, and there's other behaviors that she talks about. And they have her, she basically was kind of a hoe and was doing a lot of drugs. And, we know, people have told their stories in the fellowship. And so that type of behavior is usually attributable to some sort of a childhood trauma. And you see it in Hunter, and you see it in other parts of this family. So it's quite interesting. Yeah, most definitely. Ruben says, after the election, it is all starting. Yeah. So this is very interesting stuff here. New York Times. The New York Times had the skinny on the raid before, very reminiscent of Roger Stone. Hail, Ms. Martin Muses. Hello, and thank you for the rose. RR says, this family is satanic. Yep. Ruben says, they just passed the infrastructure bill, 1.2 trillion. What a mess. Oh, shit. And Tiki of Doom says... Oh, whoops, I passed it.
What must be what? What must be what? Come on, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is very interesting stuff. Yeah, there's... So we're gonna get into it. Ashley Biden's diary. God, these people are sick. Oh, is an agreement to an agreement? Okay. Yeah, this is some crazy shit. I wonder what excerpts the mainstream media covered the rating of Project Veritas, but they haven't really done a lot as far as actually covering it. So let's see what the mainstream media is saying about this. Because the mainstream media will tell us a lot. FBI investigate. So this is from NBC News. 7 hours ago. FBI investigating Project Veritas's links to Biden's daughter's stolen diary. So it's confirmed to be a real diary for sure. We know it's the real deal. Federal agents searched several locations belonging to current and former members of the conservative media company Project Veritas. Are they? On Thursday, in an investigation involving the possible theft of a diary belonging to President Joe Biden's daughter, Ashley Biden, according to a statement from the group's website, and an FBI spokesperson. An FBI spokesperson confirmed to NBC News that, quote, court-authorized law enforcement activity, close quote, took place at an address associated with Project Veritas in Mamaroneck, New York, and another address on East 35th Street in Manhattan. Conservative group confirmed a New York Times report that the investigation involves allegations that a diary belonging to the president's daughter had been stolen. Portions of the diary were published online by a conservative website about 2 weeks before the presidential election. Yes, I read some of those excerpts, some of the excerpts that I read just now. The Times, citing two sources briefed on the matter, reported that the Justice Department has been investigating the case since October 2020, when a representative of the Biden family reported that several of Ashley Biden's personal items had been stolen in a burglary. In a statement on Friday, Project Veritas' CEO, James O'Keefe, known for producing gotcha-style undercover videos involving Democratic politicians, activists, and the media, said his group has been approached by people claiming they had the Biden daughter's diary, but they decided not to publish it. And then he talks about the tipsters and the story that we just told, and that they said that they weren't going to because they couldn't verify it, and that he turned over turned it over to law enforcement. The site did publish excerpts. The site that did publish excerpts did so about 2 weeks after the New York Post began publishing stories about information and emails it said was on a laptop that belonged to Biden's son and Ashley's half-brother, Hunter. Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, said he gave the hard drive to the conservative tabloid and that the laptop had been obtained illegally after it was left at a Delaware computer store. NBC News was able to confirm the content and authenticity of the emails or other records after Giuliani refused to share a copy of the hard drive. Giuliani told the New York Times he'd gone to the Post with the hard drive because nobody else would take it, or if they took it, they would spend all the time they could to try to contradict it before they put it out. So there you have it. So, I mean, here are my questions. Is this the deep state? Are they legitimately trying to protect Biden? Or is the deep state making sure that the authenticity of this diary is verified because it's time for Biden to go? The deep state said, hey, man, this guy is losing elections here. We can't have him there anymore. This guy's fucking things up. He's got to go. So what do you think? What do you think, chat? Where are you at on that? Yeah, it was not stolen. Nope. Train to Never Never Land. We're off to Never Never Land, says RR. The Islington girl says, didn't Hunter hook up with his dead brother's widow or something? Yes. Yes, he did. And then he cheated on her. Tiki of Doom says, this is epic. Fuck yes, it is. Ooh, this is like popcorn munching time. This is like, there's so much that could be happening here right now. The deep state, my belief is that the deep state is not happy with Biden. Yeah, this is they are a sick bunch. TZ Canadian says, spin cycle on high. Well, with this group, on high is one of their settings. At least things are interesting, says Tiki of Doom. Yep. Yeah, no boredom here, says RR. RR says, in a sane world, O'Keefe would have won multiple Pulitzers. Well, the Pulitzer is not really worth anything anymore, is it? Hail, Commander Ed Straker of Shadow. Federal Bureau of Incompetence equals deep state puppet. Shellback says, probably the latter. Sorry, I have my window open. Tiki of Doom says, I hope you're right, Wes, but I'm still kind of black-pilled. Yeah. Glinzer says, McAuliffe might have friends in the FBI. Ooh. Well, see, isn't that the interesting thing? There's a number of things that are happening right now. And a number of things that seem to connect back to the Clintons. Isn't that interesting? You have that odd shooting on the movie set. That kind of connects back to the Clintons. And then you have Terry McAuliffe. He connects back to the Clintons. I believe he was the head of the DNC while Clinton was in office. President Clinton. And you have this, you have the Durham report. That ties to the Clintons. The Clintons' fingerprints are kind of all over this thing, aren't they? And so I think the Clintons are in full-on panic mode, and they're saying, this fucker, cost us the election, and he's wildly unpopular. This guy's got to go. That's what I think's happening. Could be wrong. But it looks like the reason that this is being brought out now is because Bribin ain't delivering. Bribin is just like so far gone and so bad and so inept that the deep state is like, you got to go, man. You got to go. We got to get the hoe in there. Get the hoe in there. Oh, and then you have Huma Abedin, also tied to the Clintons, coming out and saying that a sitting United States senator perved her. Spoiler alert, I don't think it was Hillary. Small Time says, what if we had a Hillary, Freudian slip there, a Hillary Kamala ticket for 2024? Yeah, they would really need the cheat to do that. R says, Bribin has always been an expendable asset. Yeah, he's definitely not an asset anymore. RR says, it looks like the deep state is concerned about Bribin's lack of cognitive control, preparing for his replacement. Yep. Hail, Parrothead. Welcome, my friend. I am the Lord of the Waterfowl. Good to see you, as always. Glinzer says, the DNC wants Alec Baldwin to visit the White House. Is that a joke? R says, Bribin's lack of mental health is becoming more and more noticeable. Shit. As if it wasn't noticeable before. Fuck, it's real noticeable now. I mean, you know.
Come on, man. What must be what?
Yeah. Yeah. Windsor says, let's go Brandon, becoming Get Out Brandon. Yep. Islington Girl says, hard to say as a Canadian peering in, but it looks serious. Yep. They want a patsy, if you know what I mean. Yeah, right. Hey, Rita. How's it going? Yeah, nothing more serious. This is a global power grab. It is. So let's look at this NY Post article about Huma Abedin. And you noticed all of this is connecting back to the Clintons. Watch this. The timing just seems very strange to me, you know? Timing seems very odd. So, yeah, let's take a look here. New York Post, October 26th. Huma Abedin claims sex assault by U.S. Senator in new book. By Samuel Chamberlain. Huma Abedin, that was Clinton's chief of staff, for those of you that don't know. Huma Abedin says in her new memoir that she was once assaulted by a U.S. senator and was so shaken afterward that she ended up apologizing to him. Okay, just an aside here, folks. This is the woman that was married to Anthony Weiner. Do you really think that she would be shaken that somebody was that a U.S. senator was a pervert? This is somebody that was Hillary Clinton's chief of staff, or on Hillary Clinton's staff, which means that Bill Clinton was around. Do you really think she was shaken? Continuing. Abedin doesn't want to identify the offending Paul, but writes in her upcoming tome, Both and A Life in Many Worlds, that she was working as an aide to then-Senator Hillary Clinton when the incident occurred more than a decade ago, according to The Guardian, which obtained an advance copy of the book. Abedin, the estranged wife of serial pervert and ex-con, former New York Congressman Anthony Weiner. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure, she was disturbed. Said that the assault happened after a dinner attended by a few senators and their aides. Clinton, for whom she served as a longtime right hand, was not there. I ended up walking out with one of the senators, and soon we stopped in front of his building, and he invited me in for coffee, Abedin writes. Once inside, he told me to make myself comfortable on the couch. That's Huma. Huma's aged a lot. The senator then took off his blazer and rolled up his sleeves as he made coffee and chatted with her, she said. Then he plopped down to my right, put his left arm around my shoulder, and kissed me, pushing his tongue into my mouth and pressing me back on the sofa, she said. I was so utterly shocked I pushed him away, Abedin writes. All I wanted was for the last 10 seconds to be erased. After the senator apologized and told Abedin that he had misread her, he asked if she wanted to stay. She said. So it's definitely not going to be a Republican senator. Then I said something only the 20-something version of me would have come up with. I am so sorry, and walked out, trying to appear as nonchalant as possible. Abedin writes. The former Clinton aide said she kept away from the senator, quote, for a few days, but remained friendly with him. Abedin said she buried the incident in her memory until allegations of attempted sexual assault emerged against then Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Okay. Sure, lady. Wouldn't have anything to do with that guy getting put in the White House, would it? In addition to serving as Clinton's aide in the Senate, Abedin went on to become her deputy chief of staff when the former First Lady spent 4 years as Secretary of State under Bathhouse Berry. Abedin was also the vice chairwoman of Clinton's doomed 2016 campaign. Abedin then married Abedin married then Congressman Weiner in 2010. A year later, Weiner resigned from the House of Representatives after he was caught sending explicit photos of himself to women. His ongoing seamy antics also doomed his once promising mayoral campaign in 2013. Blah, blah, blah. So these people are different from what we might call normies. These people, everything they do has an angle. Everything they do has a purpose. They don't marry and fall in love and get into relationships for the sake of love. The reason they do this is to socially climb and advance. So it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Now let me get to the chat. RR says, I've heard from multiple sources that the deep state is not happy with the Wicked Witch of the West, and they theorize that's why Bribin is still being propped up. I've heard that too, RR, but there's definitely something happening with the deep state behind the scenes right now. Islington Girl says, looks like she hasn't eaten since the Clinton administration. Well, she looks more like a binge and purge type of gal to me, Islington Girl. Shellback says, Huma Wiener. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow. I don't think the deep state would not be happy with Kamala either, because she has massive brain rot from all the drugs and booze during her San Francisco days. You're forgetting that she's a hoe, Commander Ed Straker, and like most good hoes, she's gonna put out. Howdy, Keck44. Good to see you, my friend. R says, she's on a strict bread and water diet as punishment for her husband's bad press during the Hildebeest's presidential run. Yeah. And Glinzer says, could Huma be talking about Brandon? Oh, I think it's obvious that that's who it is. There would be no reason. There would be no reason for her to talk about anyone else. Yeah, you never know. There are so many perverts that, you never know. Yeah, grifter warning, indeed. Well, they're all grifters. Hail Wookiee supremacy. Wookiee supremacy has, bullshit. Yep. Indeed, Wookiee. Good to see you, my friend. She married Carlos Danger, says Glenser. Yeah, weird. Hail Dwayne. Welcome, my friend. Hello from Iowa to me and to the chat. Good to see you, my friend. So yeah, this is all a bit strange, folks. All a bit strange. And it has the Clintons' fingerprints all over it. So what other nuggets can we get out of Ashley's diary here? Sorry, I have to get a tweet out that we had to reschedule George's interview. This is all very interesting. So yeah, Ashley Biden diary. So that's definitely a bombshell in there. I know there's a PDF version of it somewhere. I need to save that. I'm sure Culture Casino has it. Ashley Biden PDF. Ah, here we go. So if you're curious, here's Ashley Biden's diary. Yeah, Blue Wave, right? Hail LDG. Hold on, I don't know which LDG it is. I can't see it showing up. Where is it? Why are you not showing up? Has your chat been nuked? Okay, so here's the Okay. So let's give this a try, shall we? Today, January 27th, 2019. Today is the day today to start anew. Today's the day, a day to start anew, to start over again. I've been preoccupied with thoughts, but he is in no position to give me what I need. His life has been turned upside down by not seeing his daughter. And if I care for him despite the fact that he played unintentionally with my heart, my camera's in the way. Shit. I will let him go. Any strategy? He is gay. It broke my heart to see him in this place. What? I think what keeps coming up for me is my brothers, how I don't have them in my life anymore. I look forward to starting my clinical week. Really diving into my therapy and working on the parts of me that need love, support, and tenderness. What does that look like? Well, for starters, it begins with truly letting go of all my expectations, committing myself to reality at all costs, and knowing this is where I find ultimate certainty. Weird. Let's do a search. That was kind of weird. Hunter. Oh. I just wanted to search the diary, assholes. Not the whole fucking site. Is there a way to search here? So yeah, this seems like a legit diary. I don't think anybody would make this stuff up. But, you know. Yeah, that's fortune cookie therapy for you. What a bunch of malarkey, man! Hail John Platt. Welcome, my friend. Yeah, very weird. Very weird indeed. So let me see if I can figure out how to search this thing. Search. I just want to search this. Let me see. How do I search just this? Oh, here's something interesting. Look at the date. Look at the date. October 26th is the publication date. October 26th is the publication date. Now watch this. Watch this. October 26th is the publication date. October 26th. October 26th. Yeah, this is seeming like a Clinton operation right here. That's what that's seeming like. Yeah, cry me a bleeding heart. Indeed. Play me your violin. P.S. F you, YouTube. Oh no, are we being censored? Did they just nuke us? Okay. Well, hopefully we're still going. Small Time says, every time I see Huma, I imagine Alex Jones talking about her smelling bad. Yeah, she probably, she might have a little bit of funk about her. I wonder if she shaves her armpits. That's what I wonder. Every time I see Huma Abedin, I just wonder if she shaves her armpits. Ruben says, I have downloaded the diary. Yes. We're still going. Okay, good. For now. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I wanted to go an hour into this, and because I'd blocked out an hour to speak with George. And so yeah, this to me interesting. Some in the chat disappeared. That's very strange. Yeah, 112 pages. Yep. Yeah, this to me, I mean, I don't know where you guys are at on it, but this to me looks like a deep state operation, or the players in the deep state going at one another. This appears to be the Clintons are not happy with bribing. And I mean, let's be honest, bribing. Yeah, I would look for ooh, man, things are about to get freaking real pretty soon here. Things are going to get real. You're going to see some crazy reindeer games happening soon. So yeah, I don't know. I think bribing's going to be on the way out. I think if he doesn't croak, they're going to be looking for a way to get him out of there, because he's so unpopular right now. And they can't even steal elections. I'm sorry, they can't even fortify elections because he's so unpopular and the margins are so wide. It's that difficult for them to fortify an election. So this is very interesting indeed. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, and we'll continue looking into this. But this is some really weird stuff, and we'll see what happens. So if you like what you see in here, I'd be honored if you consider liking the video, sharing the video, and of course subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring the bell to possibly get notifications. I believe that's about a 15% notification rate here on YouTube right now from my channel, so it's a crapshoot. But I certainly would appreciate it. So that's it for Jesus Christ, I'm starting to talk like bribing. That's it for tonight, my friends. And we will... Where is it? See ya.